The Littlest Heroes provides emergency financial support to families all throughout the state of Ohio who are currently battling pediatric cancer.
I had no idea that my friend John was involved in an organization called the Littlest Heroes until I read about it in the newspaper.
My name is Heather Goss, and I'm here to tell about Jacob's story.
Jane, the person, is a very caring. So while she was the one that was sick, I think she probably worried more about people we saw in the hospital than herself.
We serve roughly about 300 families throughout Northeast Ohio, either through our emergency financial support or through our holiday Adopt a Family program, which we do every year.
And my encounter with that article came at the most perfect time because it was in the run-up to the marking of a very significant day in my life.
Jacob, he's a smiley, happy little boy, loves Legos, and in my eyes, superhero.
In July, she went for her routine scans that they want you to come every 3 months for the first year, and in the routine scan that showed that it was back.
There's no question that as an organization we couldn't do what we do without the generosity of our donors in this community. Some donors give on a regular basis, some give just to our general fund, and there are some donors that give for specific reasons. For example, we have a wonderful family that year after year, their donation is specifically earmarked for the parking at several of the hospitals throughout the region to offset the costs of the families.
On February 3rd, 2017, I celebrated my 20th rebirth day, the anniversary of my overcoming childhood cancer.
Littlest Heroes, they are part of our support system. We came to know about them partially a little bit way into his treatment, and they've helped tremendously from Christmas time to just random getting cards in the mail from them, and little gift cards from them at the inopportune times when you're not thinking about it, and they just kind of wrap you up in their arms and kind of take you and I don't know how to describe it. They just take you as one of their own, and they're just amazing.
Someone came to us, a social worker, and brought us a card, and it was an envelope, and it's a Finley family, and I opened it, and it was a giant eagle gift card, and I was like, oh, well, that was really nice, and it was from Littlest Heroes.
So the way I wanted to celebrate this anniversary was by calling attention to the Littlest Heroes and the great works inherent in their providing of emergency financial assistance to families that are going through this struggle, not only so other families can understand the types of services and organizations that are available to them, but also so other people can understand the great work that's being done, so it can attract more dollars and more donors and more volunteers, so we can help an ever greater number of people going through this in our community.
Throughout the year, we host a number of events for the families that we serve. First and foremost is our annual gala. That's our opportunity where we really get to celebrate the little heroes in our community. In addition, we always host our Bowling for Heroes' Sake, which is in the fall. We host a number of other events, such as a day at the ballpark. We've had the opportunity year after year to actually bring the kids onto the field at Browns Stadium prior to a Cleveland Browns home game. And the kids always do look forward to our day at the zoo.
He was very resilient. He was a little fighter, I will say that. He didn't like physical therapy after that. That was one of those things that he wanted to do it on his own. He didn't want anybody's help. So he went through 9 weeks of radiation, 6 months of chemo, and we thought it was gone and we were out of the woods and he was in remission, and then it came back. So then we started treatment all back up again, and he kept going through chemo until May of last year. We stopped all treatment. It wasn't working anymore.
So, some people say, oh, well, it's a bad age. And I guess there is not ever a good age for childhood cancer, but being a fresh 8th grade, 13-year-old girl, it's kind of a bad time because, you've got so many things going on besides the cancer.
In books about war, soldiers are often quoted as saying the real heroes are those that did not come back. In our context, the real heroes are the kids that fight back, and the families who help the kids. and the organizations who help the families, and the people who help the organizations through donations of their time and their treasure and their passion to serve, in many cases, complete strangers.
My nephew was diagnosed at the age of 7 with a brain tumor, and it was absolutely heartbreaking for our entire family. I watched a middle-class couple, both working parents, who lost everything.
Ironically, Jacob was never one to be in the limelight. He didn't like everything focused just on him. But there's one patient that he kind of buddied up with, and ironically, I mean, Jacob was 7 at the time, and he was a teenager, and they roomed together a couple of times, and they still are friends. And I know when Jacob passed away, his buddy came and told me that when they both got up to heaven, they both have beer and play Legos when they got up to heaven.
You start to put your perspective, your things shift, like what's important in your life. Right now, her being at school and just being happy is important.
All because we're bonded together through this common experience of being touched by this terrible disease. And out of that grows such passion and such hope and such love that is evident in every family that the Littlest Heroes serves. And that's what this organization is all about.
Unfortunately, we lost Nathan that year, but that always stuck with me. And years later, I came to know the Littlest Heroes, and I realized that as an organization, they did exactly what it was that we came together as a community to do all those years ago. And I realized then that this was the cause to devote my life to.
I think it helps the parents that are going through this to know that there are people out there that do care.
First you feel kind of guilty because you're like, well, we can do this, but then you realize there are times when it's just as somebody's thinking of you, and it's really nice.
They actually care. It's a genuine love for children.
We've all heard the song that we can be heroes, and these people really are. But we're just sidekicks next to the Littlest Heroes.